Well, it's been another one of those days today. Day hasn't ended yet, but it's not been too bad. I say another one of those days, but we have made some inroads and tidied up. Unfortunately, our professional brush cutter has gone kaput. It's less than a year old, and it's a really good Kawasaki one, and has decided that it needs a different spare part. So we've been trying for the last 3 days to speak to the Italian people who we bought it from, and they pointed to many schematics, and we finally found the right part. These are the people we actually ordered the brush cutter from, and unfortunately it took a month for it to come last year. So yeah, we will see how long that takes to come. But we've been working at the front of the chateau, which is actually at the back, but I call it the front because it's the symmetrical sort of facade. And I've spoken before that we've got a lot of work to do on this front because it's north facing, so north is behind me, so the sun rises in the east over there, sets in the west over there, and during the winter this facade of the chateau gets a right battering. So we literally have started to tidy this front a little bit. There's some redder that needs patching up at the bottom. We've got a little bit of flashing missing up at the top there on this tower, and we think the overhang where the guttering is, just on this lip on the 3rd floor, is leaking slightly, and that's basically going down the front of the render there on the top right hand corner. We've got different colours of the facade, which, you know what, never ever even occurred to me when we were looking at the property. It was very weird. Yeah, so we've got to patch up the render and things, but I'll focus along the bottom, sort out that piece of guttering, or the guttering in the overhang, whichever it is. We won't know for sure until we get up on the scaffolding. And Julian today has just been unblocking a drain. So all fun here. Need to get some more outdoor furniture, but basically I'm just looking at this again. You know me, I just got on a tangent, but we've had some severe frost, and we had another frost last night. Just look at what it's done to this fig tree. So the leaves, and I noticed this in the kitchen garden the other day, I mentioned it, that the leaves have just had so much frost damage on the trees. Really not good. So I'm hoping, I think that's going to recover, because we had some beautiful figs from it last year. Yeah, just having a wander around. So just got my little strimmer out, and just been strimming around a little bit after Julian's mowed, but it's just not cutting it. It just really needs that part for the other one. But this gorgeous apple is now in blossom. I mean, how beautiful is that? It smells divine. We've got some work to do on the trees around here as well. We've got these conifers, Leylandii, whatever you want to call them, that are just taking over this spot. So they need to, I like the privacy that they kind of give, not that we really need it, but there's no one to look in. It's our own land, but I do like the aspect of it, but it's so big and it's encroaching on the apple, and I value the apple more than these conifers, so they need thinning back. We've got a tree here, I don't know what it was, but it's been dead ever since we've bought the house over a year ago. This is a cherry here. You can see our video from last year saying about the cherry trees, picking those, and then that one there is a plum. A massive horse chestnut where the children's swing that we've built is there. Little one in the background there is an elderberry, and we've got a lot of elderberries around the property, so they're just starting to show some buds now, so I'm really looking forward to that. You can see in the background Julian and the twins have gone to collect some eggs, so I'm just hoping that the frost hasn't damaged the flowers too much and that everything's okay. But although this front looks still a mess, we've done a lot of work here. This was previous owners were horse breeders and everywhere was paddocks, and this here about just beyond the cherry tree had the sort of ugly green fences that we've still got around a little bit of the property, designed for keeping basically keeping livestock out. And what we did was removed all that, and it took days and days just to remove the fence because there was brambles over a metre high, all entangled and 2 metres wide. It was a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. So we've done a lot of work here. There were a lot of trees and bushes that were dead again. As I said, that one beyond over there is dead, but we've let it have a chance, see if it came back, and it didn't. So yeah, just taking stock really. We've got a bit over here which I'll show you another time, because I've already got a bit more in this video before this, that we've just started over there, where you can see just beyond where sort of like the tree trunk is. All that was cut by the farmer this week, because it was all brambles. So that means that will now be good pasture grass for us to cut. So we've got a lot to do. And then he's coming back. This is some of the previous trees we took down in autumn that we need to get the wood chipper onto. But where you see all the pasture here, that's one of the poles that the EDF need to come and remove. Now they've put the electricity underground. You can see the long sort of groove where they dug a metre down and did that. But the farmer's coming back and he's going to mow all this pasture, and then all around this edge here is brambles of metres and metres thick, so we want that taken away. Not completely, because it is a habitat for wildlife, but it is encroaching onto the pasture now, so we want to get it under control, so maybe leave perhaps a metre of it. And this goes all the way around, basically 180 degrees of the property. This is the Sarve, the River Sarve. You can't see it at the moment, but it stretches all the way down to there, and down there is the waterfall. So yeah, we're just making a start. It's we've got a plan now. We plan to open up in June. Obviously no huge rush at the moment. With everything that's going on. But yeah, I think we're aiming to get the 2 bedrooms ready for June, and then the 3rd ready for the beginning of August. But we are having to split our time between obviously the outside and the inside, because even though we've got 7 hectares roughly of pasture and grass, it's a bit of a nightmare. But we now have the help of a farmer, so he can do the rest. But where I showed you all along this before, we were actually doing that last year. It's just ridiculous. 3 weeks to cut everything entirely, because we don't have a tractor. We just have a ride-on mower, and because I'm qualified in permaculture last year, did my course with Jeff Lawton. That's something in the future that I'll do and incorporate permaculture design into the mix. Just too busy at the moment. Then I refused to get this massive tractor. I just knew that eventually we want to manage the pasture land regeneratively. But in the meantime, what do you do in the meantime when you haven't got time to maintain your animals, so you don't get the animals? We nearly got them last year, and I'm glad we didn't, because lockdown happened. So yeah, it's chicken and egg again. Anyway, I hope you're all well. I just want to show you a different aspect to the kitchen garden, show you that it is a little bit run down, needs a bit of work, but she's got beautiful bones, just like me. Hope you're all well. Take care.